So I can talk about my feelings more now than back then. To be honest with you, it was over, and I think there was just everybody was just relieved that it was over. But the war had only just started for many of us. He talks about go and says, and when you win, you can say whatever you like. He says Obasanjo, for instance, captured them. Did you hear those words? Never happened. In some other reports, people say that he went and stood at attention and saluted Gowan and said, reporting for duty, which never happened. So you have all these stories, like they say, the hunter, when, as long as they control the hunt, they'll try to control the narrative. So later years, even looking at it now, was very emotional for me. I almost turned off my camera because I knew that my father was having to submit to someone who was his junior in the army. Obasanjo wasn't even a part of the army. He hadn't even joined the army. He was probably closer to a teenager when my father joined the army. And here's my father having to submit to them. But one thing he always let me know is that what matters is the lives that were saved. I shouldn't think much about the process. Shouldn't think much about the consequences, because there were consequences. My parents remained jobless from that day until when they passed on. And they had children to raise. My father never received any benefits for his role in the army, not a penny. And my father was not an accountant in the army or a lawyer in the army or a teacher. He was a professional soldier. When you took that from him, he was dismissed without any benefits. You can imagine what that means. It's like taking away my PhD, taking away my home, my means of livelihood, and I have 7 children, then 8 to take care of. So what I see when I see that is not what a lot of people see. The one Nigeria thing he's talking about there just makes me laugh. Look at what has happened to his people in recent years. By the same people who fought on the same side with you for one Nigeria. Look at what they're doing to your people. What kind of one Nigeria did you fight for?